Today, I'm going to be breaking down Illest Of Our Time by Ren, where I'm going to be talking you through the various elements of the track that I'm picking up on as we go through it. But before we go ahead and get into the video, if you have a track or an artist you would like me to review, check out, break down, whatever it is that you want to call it, pop it into the comments below. Also, if you like new music and you want to hear more of it, go ahead and check out my main channel, Pure Urban Music, link in the description below. 100% of the royalties do go directly back to the artist. So if you want to show your support, you want to get involved, and yeah, go ahead and check that out. Let's get it.
One, two, three, spitting bullets.
Okay, right, so before we go ahead and get into the meat of the track, I really like the intro. I like the bass line, I like the sirens, I like the that comes in every now and again, which just kind of adds that nice touch to it. But I also really like the ear candy, right? Those, or the two pieces of ear candy that we get, those are the things that stood out to me the most. So we get choo-choo-choo-choo, and then we get doot-doot-doot-doot. And the reason why I like those is because actually they're not really needed. Right, they are literally just ear candy because there's no shifts, there's no changes that's happening within it to use those to then transition us into those changes. So the fact that they're there literally is just ear candy, but they work really, really well. And when you put all of those things together, right, it gives you a really good idea, even though I'm only 15 seconds in, of the type of track that I'm going to get. It does a very good job of setting the scene.
On the beat, I'm a sick little puppy who gets lucky when he speaks. Blessed with a silver tongue, chest with an iron lung. Extraterrestrial tentacles, aliens. Psychopathic tendencies, a pathologic entity. If everything is set in stone, then this is how it's meant to be. Elementary, dear Watson, you might find yourself inside the mind of the illest of our time.
Get it poppin', hot rockin'. I'm Freddy Krueger, I'm chopping. I turn it up to 11, the demi-Gordon of upping. The strangest thing, I'm the boss when the danger lingers. I'm plotting. Sweet like a spoonful of sugar, because I'm merry like popping. A double barrel.
Okay, right. Okay, so there's a couple of things here. I'll try my hardest to be quick here. Okay, so I really like the shift in the paciness of the track, right? So we go from the lift where we've got no beat, we've got nothing, we've just got sort of like the bass line and we've got these psychedelic sounds, right? Then we get into the part of, or we go to the scene where he's walking through, right? And he's smashing something up. And what we have there is we get the hi-hat, we get the snare, and we get dun 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 dun. And those things together are creating a really good shift in rhythm. And what I like about that, in addition, is the fact that Ren, in terms of his vocal delivery, is matching that. So it's a nice shift between the kind of tempo or the paciness or the feel that we got when he was in the lift to when we cut to this scene to where he's smashing stuff up. I also like the cut that we just had there. I don't know whether you noticed it, but it was a simple cut. And what that done is brought emphasis to the end phrase, but also acted as a really kind of simple transition into this part of the track when now we've got the drums, we've got the bass line, all that sort of stuff. Lyrically, I like it, right? There's some complexities in there in terms of rhyming scheme. We've got multi-syllable rhymes. We've got wordplay. We've got punchlines. Like, you know, this is not sort of like just basic rhyming. You know, we've got things like Freddy Krueger, I'm chopping. We've got sweet like a spoonful of sugar because I'm merry like Poppins or something along those lines. And another thing that I picked up on, right, and this could be an absolute reach, by the way, right? So if anybody knows, I would love to know whether I'm on point or whether I'm just waffling. But there's a line when he's in the lift and it's something like elementary, dear Watson, you may find yourself inside the mind of the illest of our time, or something like that. Now, to me, there's a link there. And the only reason I say that there's a link there is because he emphasizes the word find. And if you listen to that line, right, in my mind, if there was no link there, there's no need for him to emphasize the word find. Now, for anybody that doesn't know, so Watson is Sherlock Holmes' right-hand man, effectively, right? And he's always that guy that's kind of like looking for clues, in search of stuff. Now, listen, he's a smart guy, don't get it twisted, right? But he's always that step behind Sherlock Holmes. So what I'm thinking is, you know, elementary dear Watson, he's always searching, and if he's searching, this is what he's going to find. He's going to find himself inside the mind of the illest of our time. And another thing that I've just kind of clocked here, and again, this could be an absolute reach, but it's the title, Illest of Our Time, right? Now, to me, that sounds like a double entendre, right? Illest being, you know, like the best, but also illest making references to, you know, the health issues that he's going through. So yeah, like I say, let me know in the comments on both of those, because I could quite easily be waffling.
It's cocking, a shotgun sheltered the noggin. I'm coughing, catchy bronchitis, you're in your funeral coffin. No stopping, blocking me not when I pick the world up, I'm squatting. And when I take from the rich, I'm in your hood and I'm robbing. 4, 5, 6, spit a crucifix. 6, 6, 6, flow, crucify a Catholic.
Maverick, anti-hero villain, not protagonist. Words are kind of muffled when you're sucking on my massive.
Who's the fucking illest? Who's the realest? Who's the baddest kid? Call the police on this beat before I damage it. A kiddie called Screech on the streets, I'm a masochist. So far from reach, I'm the type to kill a pacifist. Catalyst for chemical combustion, I'm the analyst of metaphors and similes and synonyms, and alchemist, evangelist. Spread the words I seek like they're cancerous. Pragmatist, think before I speak, then I answer it.
Pull up to the place. When I pull it, bang, I pull it, sang it, shot right into space.
Music for the hooligans let loose on the estate. Call the police and the riot bands, the people wanna play. Hey!
Okay, right, so for anybody that's not really paying attention to the instrumental, right, just listen to how many switch ups and kind of changes there are within this track. He's doing a really, really good job of keeping it shifting and changing through things like cuts in the track, changing up the pace of certain instruments, adding the beat in, taking it away, playing with the bass line, you know, playing around with those psychedelic sounds and kind of just choosing when he puts them in and strips them out. It's just really, really clever because he's doing it with something that's very, very simple and straightforward, but he's doing it in a way where he's not throwing in a whole bunch of instruments, right? He's almost keeping it within the confines of the originality of the track. And you know what? It's not the easiest thing to do either. Keeping it within the confines of what you started with, it's really, really clever. And again, you know, we hear some more kind of clever wordplay. You know, I'm not going to go into it. You can go back and listen to it. But we had the pacifist line. We had the evangelist line. We had the pragmatist line. So yeah, just really, really good wordplay that continues to flow throughout the track.
Freedom now has lost all meaning. How can we all be free in a hierarchy breeding ground? The poor get poorer while the rich get rich in style. I'll be a heretic, killer king, take his crown. Top of the throne, top of the kingdom I own, top of the streets that I roam, top of the dome, spitting for Britain.
Another switching rhythm there.
I pin like Tyson, an icon.
And again.
Left, right in, I'm striking like I'm biting, like a python. Ready, I'm heavy, I'm Mercury,
and again.
Freddy, so eat my words, fill your belly like alphabet, spaghetti. I am a rap star, don't believe me, the facts are I spit fast like a NASCAR.
Don't believe me, then fuck your shit.
I don't
Another
feel
change.
so well.
Instrumentally, listen.
I don't feel so well. I don't feel so well.
Call a medic for myself. I don't feel so hot, my brother. Aching, shaking, stop then stutter. Things gone wrong, hit by King Kong, Ace, one tom bomb like Hardy Brothers. I don't feel so fresh, my bro. Things look blurry, speaking slow. Head in Hong Kong, wonton soup is what I have for brains. I know that I
want to spread these tattered wings, hold them high. Vanish from the heavens, but I'm knocking on the sky. Living with depression is a blessing in disguise. Never second guessing, intuition getting wise. Want to sink into the pupil of my eye. Travel to the corner of my cornea and mind. Look for all the answers that I never seem to find.
Till then, I guess I'm still the illest of our time.
Do you know what? Right, that end line about looking for answers, that almost, in my mind, right, certifies my suspicion of the Watson line, right? But yeah, please, man, let me, because I won't have time to research it. I just won't. So please let me know. But yeah, listen, track-wise, absolutely banging. Okay, so some final thoughts on the track. So a couple of things here. Firstly, really liked the intro, and I know that I noted this in the video, but I just liked the choice of the sounds and the instruments. You know, we had the bass line, we had that siren, we had the come in every now and again, but I really liked those two pieces of ear candy, right? And at the time, I kind of thought, oh, okay, well, they're just nice pieces of ear candy. But really, right, if you listen to the way that the track consistently shifts and changes as we go through, it now makes sense to me why those two pieces of ear candy were in there, but more importantly, why they were different. Because they're an indicator of the types of shifts and changes that you can expect to kind of hear within the track. So really like those pieces of ear candy, and I really like the way that he was shifting and changing that track about, but within the confines of the sounds and the instruments that he already had or that he had chosen for the track. And then the final thing for me was his vocals, right? Like, not just the complexity of the rhymes or the wordplay or the multi-syllable rhymes themselves, but also the way that he consistently switched up his delivery of those vocals, right? And what's even more clearer to me now, again, that I've heard the track all the way through, is that he's kind of matching the shifts and the changes within the track, within the instrumental, right, to his rhymes. And that's, you don't think about it at the time, but it's smart, right? It's really smart, because he could have had, I mean, you think he could have gone the other way. He could have had all these shifts and changes within the track and kind of kept the same sort of rhythm within his vocal delivery, but he didn't. Every time there's a shift in the track, he changes the rhythm of his vocal delivery. So yeah, listen, overall, it's an absolutely banging track. Okay, that's it from me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications, and I will see you in the next one.